So Sanjana, please take over from here.
Yes, sir. Hi, bhai. We welcome you to this session, and today we all are here to know more about blockchain and its uses. I would like to call upon Basit bhai to carry next. Yeah.
Hello and good afternoon to every one of you present today in this webinar organized by IIRU-ZHCET. My name is Basit Muhammad and I'm a final year computer engineering undergraduate at Aligarh Muslim University. I warmly welcome you all here today in this interesting webinar on Ethereum blockchain, which will be presented to you by one of the most distinguished alumnus of AMU, whose name is Mr. Hamza Khan. Mr. Hamza Khan completed his BTech from AMU in 2018. He has worked exceptionally in various engineering fields. He is one of the most hardworking persons that I have personally met with. He is currently working as a growth manager at Matic Networks, and he has been much eager to guide and to counsel the students of his alma mater to help them pursue a vibrant career. Now, while Hamza sir is delivering the talk, please make sure that you turn off your microphones, and at the end of this session, we will take up the questions from the audience. So without any further delays, let's start this webinar, and let me call upon Hamza bhai. Over to Hamza sir. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Basit. Thank you, Basit, for the kind words. So yeah, like I was interacting with the students. So what I feel before going to the presentation, just to give you a brief background. So I graduated in, like I said, I graduated in 2018 from mechanical engineering, but I was not too interested in the core space. But I wanted to do something related to technology, and I started working with Citibank. My first job was at Citibank out of college, and I was working as a data scientist. But soon after that, I worked there for about 2 years, to 1.5 years, and soon after that, like I was interested in cryptocurrencies, and then that's how the whole cryptocurrency space took place, and I started digging more into the technologies behind it. And I truly believe that this time right now, this is something related to something similar to 1998 of the internet, 96 of the internet, where every new company was coming up with the .com and raising a lot of capital, raising a lot of money, and but there is a lot of scams out there. There is a lot of Ponzi schemes, a lot of fake currencies out there. But having said all that, this is the next. I mean, if you look at the biggest investment companies in the world, or the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, like Twitter. Twitter is integrating a lot of cryptocurrencies in their platform, and blockchain-enabled technologies in their platform, or Reddit or Discord. All these social media, big social media platforms, they are integrating some kind of blockchains in their space. So if you think that this space is only about Bitcoin or Dogecoin or something, no, this is the next internet. This is the internet of money. This is something that we have always people of the internet have always waited for. That I can send you from the USA to India in 2 minutes. I can send money. That thing was never possible before. Or I can send information. Basically, money is what? It's information. It's data. I can send that currency from US or from anywhere across the world to you without any intermediary, without any bank involved in between. So if you send via a bank, it takes 2 to 3 days to send money. But with cryptocurrencies, I can send you in 2 minutes and without any intermediary. So that's a very powerful thing. It reduces a lot of friction. It reduces a lot of dependency, and it's simply very powerful. And I'll try to explain it in the presentation. So I think you can see my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So cool. So the idea behind today's presentation is to help you understand what all I said. That why Ethereum is so important today, and why blockchain and why Matic. So the important thing is we need people at Matic, and I'm trying to hire more people to, especially at AMU, because it's of course my college, my alma mater. I spent 4 years, awesome 4 years here, and I want people to be a part of this awesome company. So starting off, so of course, what is blockchain and what is Ethereum? Okay, the idea before going to Ethereum, I want to first come back to Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin, I'm sure you have seen it is about $50,000 right now, and all those things is fine. You can trade it, you can buy it, you can sell it. It's okay. But if you go to the white paper, if you try to understand what Bitcoin is a is a protocol. It's like HTTPS, SSL, all these protocols. It's a protocol to send money in a decentralized way from one person to other, without intermediary, without any banks in between, or without any third party involved. So, and it was all you have seen this. So it was made by some person called Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know who he, she, they are. We don't know who they are. But the most important thing is it combined a lot of big technologies like cryptography. I'm sure you know what cryptography is, the security, and then game theory. So game theory means when it's an economic concept, and I would encourage you to read more about it. So game theory means that it will trust someone without knowing them. How to enable trust between two unknown parties, to create a intermediate way. How to do that? That all those technology, all those mechanisms come into game theory. It is a very important field of study, especially in e-commerce and of course cryptography. Because how do I send money to you? Uh, but you don't trust me, right? So if I'm sending you money from one place to the other, and you don't trust me, like internet payments, why do we have Visa or Mastercard or these things in between? Because they ensure that if I pay you with my card, they ensure that the money debits my account, and is credited somewhere. But but Visa is an intermediate here. In Bitcoin, if you incorporate concepts from game theory and cryptography, it is not required. There is no intermediary required, and I would highly suggest you to try to read the paper. I know it will be very difficult. It took me almost more than 10 times. I tried to read it, and still, every time I read I learn something new. It's so deep. It is a beautiful piece of history, I would say. I would encourage you to go and read it. I know you won't understand it everything on the first time, but still, it took me about 10 times to read it again and again. But yeah, and the most important thing is decentralized ledger technology. So what do you mean by decentralized ledger? So I'm sure you have seen distributed computing. If you are in computer science, you have seen how Netflix, Amazon, they have big server farms. Correct. They have big server farms, and they are all distributed. They are not one server farm. They don't have hard disks and all RAM sitting in one server farm. It is distributed. But in that case, a company called Amazon is running all those things. It is centralized. It is still centralized. Amazon runs all those things. Whereas if you decentralize it, then everyone is running it on their own. How does that happen? That happens when you give them an incentive. If I'm running my shop, so okay, think about it this way. KFC runs their business, but they decentralize it, right? So decentralize in the sense that I open one KFC in Agra, you open one in Aligarh. You are incentivized. You are giving money. You are given a portion of the profits for yourself to run it as better as you can. That is some kind of a decentralized example. I think that will help you understand. So it is decentralized in the sense that KFC also benefits from you doing good things. If you are running it good, efficiently, KFC benefits and you also benefit, because you are getting a profit share of KFC. So it is something of that sort. So Bitcoin was first in 2008. Then a lot of it was mainly very involved in the geeks and crypto punks, cyber punks space, like all those nerds and geeks who were into internet. But slowly and steadily, we saw it moved from Bitcoin to Ethereum. Now, uh, how many of you have heard what Ethereum is? How many of you know what Ethereum is? Any you can ping me in the chat. How many of you have heard what Ethereum is? Yes, no. Yes, yes. I saw someone raise their hands. Yes, okay. Okay. So Ethereum, you can see my screen, right? I have just changed something. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Ethereum was the first blockchain. It is a separate blockchain. So Bitcoin is a different blockchain. It's a separate data structure, whereas Ethereum is a separate blockchain. But what Ethereum did is Ethereum allowed you to add programs into it. You can push your own code into it, whereas Bitcoin was a very closed system. Was a very closed, so you cannot change too much in the Bitcoin original Bitcoin architecture, because it is money, and when money comes, you ensure security, and all those things have to be secured. But Ethereum, if I can say in one word, it is a computer. It is a decentralized global. It is a global computer where anyone and everyone can push their code into it, run it on the Ethereum blockchain without any databases, without any if you're doing full stack, right? So you have to add caches, all those things, so many other things you have to put on top of each other to make it run properly. Whereas Ethereum, there is no database, there is no relaying, no nothing. You just have to interact with the blockchain directly. It is decentralized, and what you run is called a smart contract. I'll come to that. But Ethereum was the first big smart contract platform. It is another blockchain, like I said, and it is still till date one of the biggest projects ever in history, if I can say. So yeah, like I said, it is a world computer. It is a global computer, that took a lot of inspiration from Bitcoin. And I think I just try to understand this, and I'll tell you five things that Ethereum, which is the smart contract platform, took from Bitcoin and made it better. So yeah, like I said, both of them are blockchains. Both of them are separate blockchains. So blockchain is nothing but if you are in computer science, you know what a linked list is. So linked list is just blocks connected to each other, and they store data. So blockchain is nothing but a linked list, but in each link of the list, you have some transactions stored. So that link does transactions. It is a node that does transactions, and each of these transactions are connected to each other, and they form a chain. It's a very simple, it's a very broad, high level understanding, but it's just a linked list. You can just keep in mind, you cannot change the linked list. Yeah, that is a very important concept. So in linked list, you can delete, you can remove, you can edit, all those things you can. But in a blockchain, that is because of cryptography. So you can only do the transaction once, and you cannot change the transaction. So it's very transparent. It is immutable. So immutable means you cannot remove the data. If you have done something, you cannot remove it, and it is a proof. You cannot tamper it, basically. So that is what a blockchain is, and there are blocks, like I said, in a link of that linked list, and blockchain are time stamped. So every time it's you have a timestamp of like similar to Unix timestamp. It is shared. You cannot edit it. You cannot tamper it. It is like a database, but you cannot tamper it similarly. And every node in the blockchain, I'll explain node. So to run the blockchain, you need decentralized. Decentralized means there are many computers in the world that are running these blockchains, and every computer stores a copy. So currently, the Ethereum blockchain is around 650 GB, the whole Ethereum blockchain. And to run your Ethereum blockchain, you have to download the whole Ethereum blockchain and run a local copy of that blockchain. And then you can do whatever transactions you want. But there are other ways also. It's not feasible to download 650 GB. I cannot download it on my computer. It won't make sense. There are other ways also. But that is how the main miners, the validators, that is how the Ethereum blockchain is made secure. Don't worry if these things are not clear. I'll take a break in between. You can ask questions, and also I'll share this PPT so you can feel free to read more about it later on. Now people ask, like, what is the token for? Why does it have value? I think most of the people have the same question: why Bitcoin has value, or why Ethereum has value? Uh, Bitcoin has value because, firstly, it is fixed. Only 21 million will ever be there. It is how the inventor made it. He wanted to make it like gold. So gold in the world is finite. There can only be, let's say, 100 ton of gold in the world. I'm just giving a random number. 100 quintal of gold in the world. Okay, there cannot be more than that. It's very unlikely. Whereas Bitcoin, it is fixed. It is 21 million, and people compare it with gold, and so it reduces inflation. If you want to keep cash in your bank, तो कि cash की value decrease होती रहती है time के साथ. आज 100 रुपए हैं, tomorrow it will be 95 rupees. It will be worth 95 rupees because of inflation and all those things. Whereas Bitcoin, similar to gold, if you have 100 grams of gold today, tomorrow that 100 grams will be worth more, not less, for sure. That is what Bitcoin aimed to be, digital gold. Whereas Ethereum, the concept, like I said, it was different. Ethereum is not fixed. Ethereum is like oil. I think this is the best analogy of saying that Ethereum is like oil, because this is what runs the whole infrastructure, whole ecosystem of all. There are many other cryptocurrencies built on top of Ethereum. So Ethereum and the token, the Ether token, is the oil that runs everything. And so if Bitcoin is gold, Ethereum is oil. Just try to and it runs. I'll tell you why I'm calling it oil little later, because it is involved in paying gas fees for every transaction. I'll explain that. So like I said, so Bitcoin, miners, Bitcoin is mined, and it is being paid to the miners as an incentive to mine it, to run the whole blockchain, to keep it secure, and that is the incentive they get. So why would I pay so much energy and electricity to mine something, to do something, to run so many math problems to mine a Bitcoin? It is done because they are paid in Bitcoin. The miners are paid in Bitcoin. That is the reason. Similarly, Ether, the Ether currency is also people are paid in Ether to mine Ether, and that Ether then got value because a lot of other projects are built on it, and you have to pay Ether to do a transaction. I'll give you an example later on. But like I said in the last line, so it is the monetary incentive to run the whole blockchain in your computer or your mining company or whatever. It is the monetary incentive. So these are two similarities. Then the third is, yes, it's a peer-to-peer network. It is a decentralized network. There is no centralized servers like Amazon or Netflix or company that holds it, but it's a decentralized foundation basically that runs these things in peer-to-peer architecture. And if you download the Ethereum, you are a client, and the server is the actual Ethereum blockchain, which is distributed. So it is a client-server architecture, like how websites work, but it is a peer-to-peer architecture. The storage, the whole database, which is Ethereum, is peer-to-peer, and it is a decentralized way. So this is, as you can see in the photo, there is no centralized bank or something in between. It is decentralized, and this improves security, reduces point of failure. All these things are made much easy. Then there is another thing which is called consensus algorithms. This is the most important thing, and if you work at Matic, you'll understand what this means. It means that for all of these decentralized computers to come together and say, okay, yes, this makes sense. This is the correct transaction. This is not a fake transaction. There should be consensus. Consensus का मतलब है कि we should agree to something. We should agree. So if we are in this call, 35, 40 people, we should agree that, okay, we are here to learn something, and then only the class should go ahead, something like that. So that is what consensus algorithm is. So if you have 1,000 nodes of Ethereum or Bitcoin around the world, then at least 50% of them should say, 51%, sorry, 51% of them should say yes, this is the correct transaction, and then we go ahead. So that happens for every transaction. 51% of them have to say yes, basically. This is what consensus algorithm is. And then the most important thing is where you code. So if you look at Linux or Windows or all of those things, Linux or Windows, so that is a virtual machine. That is a not a virtual machine. It's an operating system, right? So Linux is an operating system, and they have virtual machines which you can take it as a copy of the actual Linux. You take it, you install it on Windows, install it on a different server, and install the Linux virtual machine and do whatever computation you have. Whereas Ethereum virtual machine is similar to that. This is where the whole brain of the whole project lies, and you can install it on your computer. You can run the Ethereum virtual machine on your computer, or you can build programs that interact with the Ethereum virtual machine. Uh, and I'll give a hands-on. I'll try to code something and help you better understand that. So these are 5 things that are common between them, but still very different because Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin was a very specific to gold. Just think of it as gold. Whereas oil, you can make diesel from it. You can do all sorts of things from it. You can run cars on it. You can run airplanes on it. Similar to Ethereum, Ether, the currency, you can do a lot of things with it. You can mine it. You can lend it. You can borrow it. You can trade it. It runs the whole ecosystem. And so you can think of it as a general purpose computer. Like you can run anything that you want on Ethereum. It is a, if you understand, it is a Turing complete language. The programming language, it's Turing complete, so you can run anything like C++, Java, everything. Ethereum can run that. So before going before yeah, so now I would like to explain what are I hope I'll take a short break. Do you have any questions till now in terms of what Ethereum or Bitcoin, or I don't want to be it one way. Feel free to ask any questions in between. Now I can take a 2-3 minute break. Any questions till now?
Am I audible?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sure you have heard about why it is the smallest unit in the Ether cryptocurrency.
Yeah, GUI is that?
No, why? It's WEI.
V, yeah. So correct.
Yeah.
V.
Do you think breaking down either into further, does it help the
Yes.
cryptocurrency?
Yes. So that's what, if you look at Bitcoin, right? So you should have $50,000 to buy one Bitcoin. Everyone does not have that. You buy Satoshis, correct? You buy Satoshis, which is the smallest denomination of Bitcoin. Similar to like what you said. So Ether is broken down into V, and that V, if you buy 0.1 Ether, you buy 100,000 V. So yeah, V is the smaller part of V. And if you pay gas, if you interact with the blockchain, you pay gas, it becomes GUI, GWEI. That is a smaller denomination. Any other questions?
Sir, what if someone tries to mutate that timestamps? Like you were saying that 51% have to agree. So what if he gets these 51% into confidence and tries to mutate this timestamp?
Yeah, that can happen. 51% should first thing is 51% should agree. Okay, 51% of the nodes, let's say 1,000 nodes and 510 nodes should agree. Yes, that can happen. But because all of them are receiving an incentive, that 51% are receiving incentive in Ethereum or Ether or Bitcoin. So logically, अगर कुछ सोचो कि like if you are being paid well, why would you do something wrong? If you're running a computer and everything is running fine, you are getting paid to run it. Logically, economically, this is a whole economic game to study. This is what game theory is. If nothing is hurting you, then you don't have an incentive to make it bad. You are getting paid every day. You are making like the early miners are making millions and millions every month from Ethereum. And let's say you get 51%. Okay, you have to destroy Ethereum. Let's say 51% you have to destroy them. Then there are other mechanisms called slashing mechanisms. So those slashing mechanisms, what they do is they essentially, I would encourage you to read more about slashing mechanisms. What they essentially do is if 51% come into coalition, they build a coalition and they try to change something, then firstly it will interact and see that okay, 51% is there. Then they'll remove all the funds of they'll remove all the funds in your wallet. So if you have let's say 1,000 ETH, the slashing mechanism removes that 1,000 ETH and removes you from the system basically. That is a safety point that even if 51% do something bad, the ecosystem, the mechanism of Ethereum will slash their wallets, their incentives, and if I can say, they'll blacklist you. You can never interact with the Ethereum blockchain again. So it's somewhat related to that. But overall, if you think like 51%, you're getting paid so much to do it. You just have to run computers. It does not make economic and financial sense to do something wrong. But yeah, it can happen. But I would suggest you to read more about slashing mechanisms. I think that will help you understand why it's not feasible.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So going ahead, so now since if you can say, so Ethereum is a decentralized database or decentralized blockchain, which is a decentralized database. Now, if you build anything on top of it, let's say you're building a trading exchange, you're building all sorts of financial things, because these are all currencies, right? These are all currencies, and on top of it, you can build trading platforms. You can build derivatives. I'm not sure if you know what derivatives is. It's a financial product, trading stocks similar to stocks. Derivatives are there. Then currencies, a lot of other. There are three things that you can broadly build. Firstly is anything financial related: stocks, insurance, derivatives, lending, borrowing. All these things can be built on top of Ethereum and are built today. There are very big multi-billion-dollar projects that are running this. Second, think of it like YouTube. Okay, what YouTube is today. YouTube is nothing but, if you can think of it as like, there are some server farms. They have videos stored in them. Like it's just data, right? And they're transcoding it and sending it via centralized service. That's essentially what YouTube is. But if you could decentralize those farms and put it on the blockchain, put it on the Ethereum blockchain, then the farm. So I can run a farm, not YouTube. I cannot run a YouTube farm, but I can run that decentralized video platform farm. I can run those. I can install their system on my computer or my desktop or whatever it is. I can run those. I can mine that currency. So I can provide data to them. I can get their currency, and that is my incentive. And these are projects it's called Live Peer. This is a decentralized YouTube. It's made by one of the Stanford graduates again. It's an interesting project. You can read about it in the documentation. It's a very good documentation. So it's a decentralized YouTube. Again, so there is a project called Filecoin. Filecoin, which is basically AWS. AWS and so AWS is owned by Amazon, right? But let's say I can decentralize it, and I can. So if I have good computing power, if I have good amount of computers or GPUs lying around, I can make my own server station, and I can farm my currency on that. I can provide my compute power and gain their currency. So I get an incentive to become a part of their blockchain, and that is a very important project called Filecoin, and it's probably one of the top 20 projects in the world, again by a Stanford PhD. So I would encourage you to check this out. So because these are decentralized, there is no one owning it. Again, 51% of the farms or the servers miners actually own it. But they have an incentive in this currency. You can check out their coin. I think it's $20-30 per coin, and you gain those currencies every day for being involved in the system and providing a compute power to the system. So these are some of the decentralized applications that you can build, and how do you make a decentralized application? So like I said, you have to interact with the Ethereum blockchain, correct? You have to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. And how do you interact with the Ethereum blockchain? That is where you write code called smart contracts, like Bas said. So Bas had mentioned that smart contracts have some kind of logic that interact with the Ethereum blockchain, and it's similar to, it's a very statically typed language, as in like Java. You have to write I'll also give you a code along, but it's very secure. It's so you store funds, so you store Ether, or you store all those logic and value inside those smart contracts. So it's a very upcoming field. It's a very research oriented field. A lot of research is going on in that field in terms of security. There are daily hacks. So I think just yesterday there was a hack of $100 million of a cryptocurrency. Hackers went into the smart contracts and found a bug, and they removed $100 million of Ethereum that was locked in those funds. So these things happen on a regular basis. Regular, I mean, once a week you'll find some hacks like this. But having said that, this just shows that it's still a very early concept. It's a very early field to be in, and I'll also explain why smart contracts. So smart contracts, like I said, it's interact with your Ethereum blockchain, and you can write all sorts of things. I'll also give some examples. So yeah, before going ahead, so this is a sort of an example that I made. So in your traditional Web 2 project, so if you're building a website like emu.ac.in, so that you have a database behind, right? So you have database, you have a repository where you're storing your HTML, CSS files. You have a server where you store those files, correct? All those things are centralized. So if that server goes down, your website goes down. But think of it this way, that server, if you can decentralize it, and you can decentralize it in a peer-to-peer network, that all those files are copied everywhere, and no one has an incentive to destroy it or steal it or tamper it. No one has an incentive to do that. Then your website will never be down. It is censorship resistant. No government can take it down. It is tamper-proof, like I said. That is what, like the backend, if you put it on Ethereum or any other blockchain for that matter, if you put it on a blockchain, it will not go down because it is distributed and decentralized across 30, 50, 100 nodes. And this is what, so if you look here, the HTML, so front end, the client will remain the same. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, you can write React. So again, if you know React, so React, you have hooks. And those hooks are provided as a library of Web3.js. Web3.js, you can check it out. It's another JavaScript library. You can install it and find all the hooks. So let's say if I do a transaction, click transaction, I can create a hook over there. and then that interaction sends a transaction to the Ethereum blockchain, and that is a write transaction. Then I have to pay my fees to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. I'll do all these things later on. But so this is your Web3 platform, and now this is where your database comes in, and where your smart contracts. You see this yellow thing. This is where your smart contracts comes into the picture, and this is how you can interact with the blockchain and write whatever code you want. Let's say you're building a game. You can build a game that can never go down. You can build a game that never goes down, and because it is on the blockchain and it is very fast and all those things. So these are the smart contracts that run everything on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, so yeah, I think I have taken questions. Still, any questions in between? I'll just drink some water. Any questions you have in between before I go?
I have heard about hashing and public and private keys, but I'm not sure exactly when does that part come into the picture. I'm sorry, sir, your mic is muted.
In terms of Metamask or in generally what?
In general, sir. In general.
Okay. So public. Okay. So in cryptography, if you see, so even the passwords or any cryptography that you see, so there are public keys and there are private keys. So public keys means that you show to someone that, okay, I have something. But private keys is the proof that only you have that. It is only unique to you. And so in currencies, right? So these are not physical currencies. These are just some pieces of code that transfer from here to there. So all these are logged. All these are logged with a key. With a key, and you have one copy of it. When you have a private copy of it, and you send a public copy of it. And again, that transaction can only be unlocked when the other one has a similar has the same copy of that public. So it's a little more complicated than that. But so essentially, what public and private keys is? Private keys means it's a proof that you hold it. In a very simple way, private key means it is a proof that you hold it, and public key is that you're okay just saying that, okay, I have this, and this is a proof. This is a proof that it is mine. But you can only access it when you have the private key. Does that help?
So yes. I think that's one more reason why Ethereum transactions are safe, because you will have to input both the keys while performing a transaction, both the public and the private key, right?
Both the public and the private key, yes. Any other question before I go ahead? Okay. So the problem with Ethereum 1. So like I said, Ethereum has been there for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years now, and there's a lot of congestion on the Ethereum. And what do I mean by congestion is that there are a lot of transactions, there are a lot of other applications being built on Ethereum. So the network overall has become slow, and because it has become slow, you have to compete with other transactions. So for example, you did a transaction. I have to send, let's say, let's say some $100 of Ethereum, and to do that, I have to compete with other transactions. And to do that, I have to pay more gas fees. So gas fees essentially means, like I said, oil. So yeah, I think this would be a good point. So before I said Ethereum is like oil, right? But to do a transaction, I have to pay something. I have to pay, and that payment is called gas fees. That gas fees means that I have to pay my transaction, pay the Ethereum blockchain to make my transaction go from final, to make it occur, basically. So I have to pay. I have to send Zafar sir $100 of Ethereum. I'll have to pay more transactions right now than 2 years back, when Ethereum as a network if you understand computer networks, it was less congested. Less people were there, less interactions were there, less apps were built. But now Ethereum, the problem with Ethereum is there are a lot of transactions, there are a lot of people building applications on top of it, which is why it has become congested, which is why the gas fees has become extremely high, like extremely high. If couple of years, not even years, I think September, I remember I could do a transaction for $2. The gas fees would be $2. Can you guess what transaction fees was just last week? Any idea from $2 what it has become? Because of so much congestion, and everyone is talking about cryptocurrencies. Everyone wants to buy cryptocurrencies. Any idea? You can put it in the chat. Tell me over here. Any idea? $2 to $10, $20. What would have been? What is the price now? The transaction cost. It has become $200 to do a transaction. So if I have to pay, so basically, if I have to pay, sir, if I have to send $100 to sir, I'd have to pay $200 to make it happen. So this is not how scalable, how it will become scalable. This is not a good design. And Ethereum will always be the best. Currently, it is the best blockchain. A lot of applications are built on top, but it is very expensive. It is very slow and it is very expensive. And the reason I'm saying this is how Matic as a company comes into the picture. So Matic has been there since 2017, and it has been one of the. So before going to Matic, I'll just want to quickly explain what layer 1 and layer 2 is. So the Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain are layer 1. These are where all the transactions happen. This is where the main blockchain is. But there is another layer 2, and where Matic comes in. So this is where most of the transactions in layer 2. This is where most of the transactions should happen. And soon you'll see most of the applications move to layer 2. If you watch the space, you'll understand that most of the transactions in most of the projects will move to layer 2 because the transaction fees on layer 2 is about $0.0004 per transaction. Whereas on Ethereum, currently it is about $80-90 per transaction. So you see, there is essentially it becomes free. So $0.004 basically free, and you can build all sorts of things on layer 2. You can build games. You can build marketplaces. You can build auction platforms like eBay or Amazon. You can build on layer 2 because anyone can buy, anyone can sell without paying $20 just to be able to pay. So that thing it becomes free, and a lot of games, lot of these marketplaces, like I said, and betting platforms. There's a big market of betting platforms on layer 2 because you cannot tamper it. So betting, सब कुछ betting पे like I've seen betting is everything depends on truth. If you should verify that okay. I'm true, and what I'm saying is I won't change it. But if you put it on the blockchain, it will never change. And that is why betting platforms, some of the biggest betting platforms, are being built on layer 2 because you have guarantee that it will not change. And these are some of the examples that are being built. And then of course trading platforms and stocks, all these things are being built on top of layer 2. So this is where Matic comes in. And Matic was the first layer 2 solution in 2017 when the first problem of Ethereum congestion came into picture. And Matic has been there for some time, 3-4 years now. And if you don't understand what hybrid POS plasma is, don't worry. You'll learn. If you want, you can check out the documentation. It's fairly good. But if you see on the picture, right, you see the green blocks are Ethereum mainnet, which is the Ethereum blockchain. And these are some checkpoints. These are checkpoints which, and this is the Matic sidechain. So this is the Matic blocks. These are smaller blocks, faster time. So Ethereum right now has 15 transactions per second, whereas Matic has 7,000 transactions per second. So you see, it is how many times? It is about 440 times, more than 400 times faster than what 450 times more faster than what Ethereum is. So that builds a lot of opportunities to build applications, video platforms. All those things can be built on layer 2. Now, if you see, so this every 256 transactions, we collect the transactions. If you are computer science, you know Merkle root. You Merkle root those transactions, and we send it to the mainnet. You send it to the main network, and this is where so it reduces gas fees. It becomes a bit slow to send those, to collect those and send those, but even that has been taken care of with our architecture. And Matic currently does about 400,000 transactions, 100,000 transactions every minute. So you can check some statistics. I'll share some links in the end. So yeah, like I said, what does Matic offer? Matic basically is Ethereum, but it is a layer 2 Ethereum, which means that it is faster. It is, like I said, it is faster. It is 2-second block times. The 2-second block time means every block is computed every 2 seconds, which is, I think, is 5 to 6 minutes of Ethereum. I'm not sure. It's about 5 to 6 minutes of Ethereum. So you see, it becomes very quick. And you see cost of transaction is $0.0012, which is basically free. Anything that runs on, so it is, as you can see, it is EVM compatible. So EVM compatible means anything that runs on Ethereum virtual machine, which is the main network, can run on Matic. 100% compatibility. And it focus on user experience, because when you have such less gas fees, you can do whatever you want. You can build n number of things on Matic. So Matic, Matic has 120,000. Actually, this has increased a lot. It has increased a lot. It's an old presentation. 120,000, about 200,000 transactions per day currently. So many wallets, different users. 160,000 wallets means 160,000 different developers and users. 100,000 developer community, and it is a very proud thing to say that it is made out of India. Companies from New York, from USA, New York, are like, I directly speak with them every day, and they are eager to build on Matic, and it is such a good thing that it is a homegrown product out of India, and it is one of the fastest growing developer communities in the world. Because it's very cheap. It's easy to deploy from Ethereum to Matic, and so many 50 plus dApps are already built on top. And it's just booming gaming, decentralized finance, and all these things. You can check it out. But the most important thing, and personally for me, because I take care of the decentralized finance part. So now, any questions in the technical part till now before I go ahead? Like what Matic is, why are we doing this? Any questions in this?
So could you explain more about rollups?
Rollups, sure. I'm really happy that you asked rollups. So what have you heard about rollups? First, you tell me where have you read about rollups, and what do you understand about rollups?
So I actually read it on an article. What I understood is that it makes transaction data always available on Ethereum, and but it's not a magical solution, they say, according to it.
It's not a, sorry?
Like they say it's not like a much of a solution,
No, I think rollups is one of the good technologies out there, and we also at Matic are building rollups. So essentially, what rollups are is like you bunch a couple of transactions, and so without going into too much technicalities, because I'll have to explain a lot of things before that. So rollups, you bunch a couple of transactions, so and then you push it. Like I said, you push it to the mainnet, which is your Ethereum mainnet. But yes, rollups are a good technology. A lot of companies are building rollups, scaling their Ethereum products using rollups, and even we at Matic are doing a lot of doing a lot of research in rollups. So it's a good technology. It's a good technology to be in. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? So in terms of application, right? I think technical. So it is a very high level, and you have to read a lot about these things before completely understanding, what it means. Yeah, it's fine. But in terms of like a broad understanding that why this is so important and why people are building this, why decentralized finance, or actually why blockchain in general. So imagine 10 years from now, you are sitting in India and you want to buy stocks in the US. Even today, like think about today, you cannot buy Tesla stock sitting in India, right? You cannot buy Microsoft stock sitting in India, or you cannot buy stock of Alibaba, which is in China, Hong Kong Stock Exchange. You cannot buy them sitting in India. But think 5 years down the line, that these stocks. What are stocks? Stocks are prices that are price feeds. They're basically price feeds that come, but are only allowed in the US because of regulation and all those things. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. My meet just crashed. Yeah, like I was saying. So think about it this way: that decentralized finance. So first come to centralized finance. What is centralized finance? People in the US can only buy stocks in the US. Um, you sitting in India, like a developing country, you have very limited financial opportunities. So even in the Indian stock market, if you look, Indian stock market has still very less opportunities to invest as compared to the US market, as compared to the much transparent. The US market is very much transparent as compared to the Indian stock market. Has given much better returns over year on year as compared to the as compared to the Indian stock market. Even in recent days, like China, you cannot invest in Chinese companies as an as an individual. Let's say you get your salary, you still have to participate only in the Indian ecosystem. Uh, However, आप PUBG खेल रहे हो रोज, but you cannot invest in it. Only a selected few people can invest in those companies which have made money from through generations and all. Only they can invest in those companies, whereas you, as an entrepreneur, as a engineer who understands that, say tomorrow, in 10 years, electric cars will be everywhere, and I believe that Tesla will be the car for the future. Or let's say let's say what else is hot today? Uh, um, solar panels. Okay, solar panels. You do your research. You come up with a company in the US, or in South Africa, or in China, Taiwan, that builds good technology, and you think, okay, I have some money. I want to invest in that company because it makes sense. They are doing good technology. Today, you cannot do it. You have to go to Taiwan. You have to set up a bank account there. You have to set up a company there and then invest. Whereas today, even like just today, I can buy Tesla stock from here. So there are applications like dApps, the decentralized apps built on Ethereum that allow me to buy Tesla stock, buy Amazon stock, and Amazon, Microsoft, all these things sitting in India. So I think that opens up a lot of opportunities. It decentralizes. It opens up a lot of avenues, financial independence. For everyone in India, in growing countries, India, Pakistan, China, all these things, you can buy anything and everywhere. So that I think is personally very powerful. Second thing in decentralized finance is that you don't need to trust the banks. So you have seen banks have been pumping cryptocurrency, pumping cash. So just as a statistic, 40% of all US dollars ever created, 40% of all were created last year. So 1.3, $1.9 trillion was printed last year itself because of Corona. They wanted to put more cash into the system, and to put more cash to hand out cash to you reduce the dollar value. तो कोई भी चीज अगर आप ज्यादा कर देते हो तो उसकी वैल्यू खत्म हो जाती है ना. Like why silver and gold और जो भी metals है, why are they precious? Because they are limited. या Bitcoin क्यों precious है? Because it is limited. Whereas cash, US dollar keeps reducing in value because the banks are printing it like crazy. तो अगर ये करेंसीज हैं हमारे पास जो कि किसी बैंक या पॉलिटिशियन के हाथ में नहीं है टू पंप इट to print it how much you want, then it becomes very powerful. Then it is with the community, with the people. It is in the hands of the people, and you control. You have a say. If not control, you can at least say that okay, I can vote. So there are also voting. So actually, Miami में इस election जो Biden और Trump का था, Miami had built a voting booth poll on Ethereum. So because everyone is voting from home, right? So they had built, the government of Miami state had built it on Ethereum. So it's a very early space, and these things, so decentralized finance, particularly for me, that's why I'm more interested in this space, because it is open. You can borrow, trade. So if you have to borrow $100,000, $10,000, okay, today अगर आपको $10,000 कितना हुआ, 7.5 लाख रुपए. If you have to go to SBI, you have to fill दुनिया जहाँ के forms you have to fill. You have to show collateral. You have to show documentation, all those things. But today, if I go and deposit collateral on a platform on Ethereum, I can get the amount in 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes. I can deposit my collateral, 75% collateral, and I can borrow Ethereum. I can borrow Bitcoin. I can borrow whatever today, or even stable currencies like US dollar. That in like 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, that is the most powerful thing that will change how financial products, financial companies work in the future. And not just me, like people from Harvard, Stanford, and big banks like Goldman Sachs, जो बड़े banks हैं, they are leaving their traditional jobs and moving into this space because they understand what value this brings in the future. Similarly, blockchain, gaming, and NFTs. So I would suggest you to look into NFTs. So NFT means non-fungible tokens. So अगर मेरे पास कोई art है, अगर मैं कोई artist हूँ, या मैं कोई song writer हूँ, या I'm a director, maybe I have a script in mind. I can digitize it and I can put it on the blockchain. People can buy it, people can sell it, people can trade it, and I can get the royalties from it. अगर मैं कोई आर्टिस्ट हूँ, मैं डिजिटल आर्टिस्ट हूँ, कोई पेंटिंग बनाया in Photoshop or whatever, I put it on the blockchain, and people can then buy and sell, and I get royalties from it without going through a channel that I have to pay incentives to everyone. वो जो companies होती हैं, there are art companies that you cannot pitch your painting in a big art gallery without going through them. But in today's world, you can do something on the Ethereum network, Ethereum blockchain, और आप direct जाके publish कर सकते हो. तो वो that is very, very powerful in my opinion, and that can bring a lot of level field. It can level a lot of things in the world in the coming years to come. Now coming to like why developers are building on Matic too much. Like we have one of the most prominent developer communities across the world in Europe. We have our offices in Europe, Singapore, and India, of course. So anything that you make on Ethereum can work on Matic. Have you seen these icons before? I mean, ये तो JavaScript है, I know. Other than this, do you know what these are? Anyone? So these are like these are tools that that allow you to make smart contracts. So these are this is Solidity. This is the language of smart contracts. Then this is Truffle. Sorry, this is Remix. I'll explain all these things later on. But these are some of the tools like जैसे HTML CSS नहीं, जैसे C++ है, Turbo C है, Eclipse, all these things, right? These are tools that allow you to code and build a IDE or all those things. So these are tools that when you come to the blockchain space, you have to code in these things. So a quick demo, I thought I'll show you guys. We have time, that's why. If you can open this, I'll just share it with you. Can everyone open this on their laptops? सब लोग laptop पे हैं, everyone is on the laptop or phone पे? Is anyone on their phone? I hope not. You can see my screen, right? So this is something of a web tool where you can interact with the smart contract with the Ethereum blockchain. It's called Remix. It is called Remix, and you can interact with directly with the Ethereum blockchain. You can also download these things and do it on your local. So जैसे code is this. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. My internet. Okay. So I hope that most of you know how to code at least in one language: C, C++, Java. Is anyone here who does not know like programming little bit? Even little bit is fine. Like if you understand uh, any language like C, C++, Java, Python, anything. Is there anyone who has no experience in programming? It's fine if you don't. I mean, कोई issue नहीं है. Okay, so so this is, I would suggest you to, has everyone opened this? Please, you can raise your hand or put a yes on the chat. Everyone has opened this. Do you see a similar thing, similar layout? I mean, not these files, but more or less. Okay, okay. Okay, I'll start off with creating a demo file. I can in demo.sol. So sol is the extension of Solidity, which is the language that I'm coding in. Just follow along. It's very straightforward. So you start off every line. Sorry, every program has to start off with couple of things, which is called a pragma. So this is like how you say doc type HTML. So this is something similar to that. This is the version of Solidity, and everything ends with a semicolon, obviously. Now these are the smart. This is a smart contract. This file is a smart contract. So I start off by saying smart contracts, and I can say hello world, and I can start off by saying string public greet equals to hello world. Okay. So this, if you have written in Java, you know what public is. So public, you can access it from outside also. And the thing with Solidity is it is a statically typed language. So I have to write specifically everything, string public greet, and now I can say hello world. So now if you're done with this, I have to run this file, right? So to run this file, you see the left panel. You can compile this. Oh, before that, do you have? I think you would have to install Metamask. 1 second. Download Metamask. Please download this extension. I'll tell you why do you have to install this. So MetaMask is basically your gateway from Web 2 to Web 3 to the Ethereum. So like I said before, you have to pay the blockchain to do any transaction on it. Read is fine, you can read it, but write you have to pay gas fees to do the transaction. So if you look here, this is my MetaMask. This is so this is a test network. So these are main networks. So Ethereum has a mainnet and I think four testnets. What do you mean by testnet? Because you have to pay actual money to do anything on the mainnet. So usually developers build everything on testnet using these duplicate currencies. So you see this Ethereum, it has no value, but I just have it here because I have to pay gas fees. This is a test network gas. Does not have real value, but it interacts with the blockchain. So I need to have some sort of Ethereum in my blockchain in my uh, wallet to do it. So are you able to install? Are you installing the MetaMask? Okay. So actually, the price of Ether is different, but this is a test network, so don't worry about it. When you install, you have to create a new wallet. Yes, create a new wallet. You can see over here. I think they have some tutorial, maybe how to install and how to set it up. Set up MetaMask. But even if you are not able to, it's fine. Just try to follow along, and you can watch the recording later on and catch up. So the important thing is you have to change from mainnet. So this is the mainnet where actual funds are there, but you can change it to Ropsten, which is other test network, or Kovan or Rinkeby or Guerli. Let's start with Ropsten. This is a test network. When you're connected with test network, you can also what is it? Faucet. ETH. 1 second. Rinkeby Faucet. Yes. So I would suggest you to go to this website. Which one is it? Yes. And go to this website and paste your address. This address. This is your address. Can everyone see this on your MetaMask? Have you set up MetaMask? You can see this account number. This is an account number. It is, I think, how many digits it is. This is your account number. It's not as beautiful as the bank account number, but it's okay. This is your account number, and you can access. I paste it here. I can get. What is this? I can get Ether. Okay, not this one. Wait. Oh, sorry, not Rinkeby. Sorry. Ropsten. Yeah, faucet.ropsten.p. This website. Now I paste my address over here. My address over here. It will send me test Ether just to test things. It is sent me, and let's see. Do I get it? It will add. I hope so. Let's see. The transaction is not completed yet. Okay, so you see this is pending. This is another very good tool called Etherscan, where you can look at the world's wallets. You can see what currencies they are holding, and like a lot of DeFi applications, decentralized finance applications use this. And so this is my account ID. This is my address, right? You see, this is my address. If you see, yeah, I think I have received it now. I got 1 Ether. Now see, this is done. This transaction hash. This is the transaction hash. This is my from. Again, I'll also send this. You guys can save this. This is my test wallet. So this is from, this is to, and I can see everything over here. I can see what was before, what was after. Um, okay. Now when I come back here, I can deploy this. Now when I compile first, yes, first I have to compile. So it is compiled perfectly. Nothing is wrong. There is one warning, but let's leave that for the while. Now the important thing is you have to use injected Web3. So what injected Web3 means is your MetaMask. Web3 wallet is your MetaMask. And you see it automatically connects you to Rockstream network. And this is your account number. You can check 4.977 ETH. Yes, I do have 4.977 ETH. And gas limit is this, hello world. You see hello world contract. I can deploy it. And now this is what is very important. Can you see this? Can you see the MetaMask page? Can you see gas price, gas limit? Is everyone able to see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I mean by GUI. Anas, I think you mentioned GUI. GUI is Ethereum's smallest transaction, smallest denomination, but GUI is the smallest gas denomination. So it's the same thing. You have to pay in Ether. Now, let's see before, what is my, it is 4.9773. Okay, now let's deploy it. And this is my gas fees. This is my, all these things. Let's confirm it. Now, this is my Etherscan transaction ID. I can check this over here. It's pending. It will take some time to complete. Yeah, sorry about dropping off again. So were you able to install? I think most of you tried to install it. So let's come back. This now let's see. So we did the transaction. I think. Okay, I'm not presenting. So now you can see my wallet, and the transaction is done. This much is the gas amount. I paid this much Ether. It's a very small amount of Ether, but this is the GUI. It starts from, I think, 9 digits. Anyways, so now if you look here at my MetaMask, the price should have decreased, yes. So it was 773, now it is 772. This is what I mean when you can use Ethereum to run smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. This is how you deploy contracts. This is how you pay gas in your wallet. When it is in the mainnet, you actually pay via Ethereum, actual Ethereum. So you pay $1. You pay $1 to send it to the mainnet. And now I can, I can deploy it. Now you can see my deployed contracts over here. And if I, since this is a greet, and this is only a read function, so I can read and I can get hello world over here. So now it is only reading from a contract on the Ethereum network, so I don't pay gas. Does this make sense to you? Is this clear? What I did? Any questions? Do you have? I can move ahead.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Any questions from anyone else? Okay. So now let's make something bigger than this. Now let's say I can make a counter app. Okay. I can make a counter app, and I can I can start by writing counter. let's say public. First I need to write a uint, which is integer, unsigned integer, public, and I write count. Okay. Now this I can, so I write a getter function, which is this is how I write function get public view, and I also need to write specifically what returns. What am I returning? In this case, I want to return just integer, and now I return count. Okay, this is a simple getter function. Nothing fancy. Now I want to increment it, so I write an increment function, which is again a public function, but this is not view. You can definitely check more about the documentation, but view means I'm just viewing something, I'm just reading something, but now I'm actually incrementing something. So this is not a read function, this is now a write function. Similarly, I can copy this, I can paste it here, I can make it decrement, I can make this minus equals to 1, function decrement minus equals to 1. So now I have three functions: increment function, decrement function, I have getter function. Okay. Now let's run this smart contract. Let me now let me deploy this smart contract. Okay, this is fine. Counter. Okay. Now let me deploy it. Injected web3. This is fine. AMU demo counter. Okay. Now let's deploy it. Again, I have to pay gas. Just notice this, it is romp string. Fine. Did you notice the gas was higher than previous one? Because there are two write functions over here. That is why the gas was higher. And the more complex the smart contracts are, the more gas you have to pay. Simple. Now you see the increment and decrement, all these functions are deployed. Now your contract is on the Ethereum blockchain. And if you want, you can see this over here, that true transaction mined and success. I think I'll have to zoom in, but okay. So this is the transaction hash. This is my my wallet. To this is the counter, which is a constructor. If you look here, it is the contract counter. I paid this much gas. This is my transaction cost. This is my hash input. All these things are there on the blockchain now. It is public. It is visible. I cannot change it at all. Now I have deployed it. Now if you see at deployed contracts, I have my counter. This is my counter contract, right? Not my hello world. I have changed it. This is my counter contract. And can someone tell me if I do get, I put a get, I call this get function from here. What should I get? What value should I get? Any idea? Zero. Yes. It is zero because by default it is this thing. Can someone also tell me why didn't I pay gas here? Why didn't I pay gas? It is a transaction, right? It is a access. Why didn't I pay gas? I can also get, this is read not write. Yes, this is a read function, not a write function. Now if I increment, then I have to pay gas, obviously. And this is again my ether will go down in value, but then I increment it, and now this transaction is happening. Where is it? Yes, transaction to counter pending. This is the transaction that is happening, and yes, now it is completed. And now if I see count, it will be 1. Increment, this is the increment function. It has incremented to count. Now count is 1. And again, if I increment it, again I pay gas. This is how it works. If I pay gas, again it will become 2, and then I press count, I'll get 2 over there. I think the first one is not completed. Now, all this is happening on the blockchain. The Remix platform is just a client to interact with the blockchain. Um, is it done? Let me see. Okay, now it is done. Now, if I select count, it is 2. Is this clear? How am I interacting with the blockchain? I can see all the transactions here. Actually, I can show you one more thing here. Transaction hash. Not this. Let me from. Okay, this is the last transaction I did. 2. This is the contract. This is the contract. Okay, I just wrote this 1 minute ago, 1 minute ago, 4 minutes ago. Contract creation. This is my contract that I just wrote here. Okay, and this is the beauty of blockchain, that I can decompile it. Let me decompile the bytecode. This is the actual code that goes in. Okay, this is because it's a test network. So on the main network, because I do this a lot daily. On the main network, you can go to the Etherscan. Let me actually show you this, and that is the most cool part of any contract. Is, let's say, this is another what do you call, project, and you can read their contract. This is the token KBTC. It's a Bitcoin synthetic token. You can read all their contracts over here. You can learn their contracts, what they are writing, the developers are writing, going to their address. You have to find this address, and you have to go to this address, and you can read the contract directly. And this is public for every project in the world. No one can write bad stuff over here, because people can go and read it and understand, okay, this is a bug, or this is a fake thing, or whatever. You cannot you can see whatever they are writing. This is a contract, abstract contract. Then this is actually ERC20. And I mean, all these things, these are math functions, additional, subtraction, all these things. You can check this out also. But overall, I think this is only because it's a test network, that's why it's not showing me. But I can also access it directly from here. Anyways, so I think we're almost running out of time. Before that, before I leave, so like, I had some last couple of things. I hope you enjoyed the demo. So what Matic is, so essentially it is like I said, it is a layer 2 scaling solution. So we provide all sorts of oracles, wallets, building, testing solutions for developers. We have good documentation. You can check out our documentation. And in case you are want to do any development work, we are more than happy to work with you. And also, I'm just pinning in my email ID here. So if you have any questions, how to work here. So we also fund projects. We provide bounties. We provide funds for projects who are building on top of Matic. On Gitcoin, you can check out Gitcoin for that. And since we are on the topic of cryptocurrencies, so most of you will be thinking, like, what is the best investment right now? Where can I buy Ethereum or anything? So for me, I think the best investment is to work at a fast company like Matic, fast moving company. And I wanted to fill this, but I didn't get time actually. But so we have two opportunities right now. We are looking for blockchain analyst who can code, who can speak with projects, who can understand who can understand projects. So we are looking for full-time role as well and as an intern. So I think because you have 2-3 months left, you can apply as an intern with your resume. You can send your resume to my email ID. Sir has my email ID also. You can ask him later on if you want. We are looking for 2 roles. We are for an analyst intern and as also as a full-time when you graduate. So you can definitely apply as an intern right now. 3-4 months, you will learn a lot more than anything. Currently, it is we are moving at very fast pace. So that's all. Any questions? So yeah, Matic is the only project to receive backing funding from 2 of the biggest exchanges in the world. This is about $100 billion company, and similarly, this is a $120 billion company. So these both have invested in Matic. So if you join the space, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot. I will not answer this question. The draft cryptocurrency bill. It's a very complicated question. I don't have time to answer it, but if the Indian government does something like this, it is the most stupid thing they'll ever do. This is if they implement it, it is very stupid of their part. India will lose out on a lot of opportunity again. Yeah. Any other questions? I'll stop sharing. Sir or anyone. I hope it was fine. It was. How was it? Did you understand something on cryptocurrencies or something on blockchain, Ethereum?
So it was definitely a great interactive session. I think the demo also gave us a bit of a practical touch to it, and I think maybe interning for a short period of time will make things more clear for us, and maybe we'll then be able to apply the concepts of blockchain and Ethereum to our respective fields and research projects.
Sure. So I would encourage everyone to try to learn more and try to apply to send your resume, and I'll definitely try to get an interview and we can take it further. You can send your resume to my email. I have just posted here. So yeah, we are hiring a lot.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Sir, if you're there. Zafar, absolutely. तो कोई क्रिप्टो करेंसी में खरीद रहा है कोई वैसे सर वो looking for a fine candidate in internship or full time role. I think the most important thing would be that you're willing to learn new things because this space is moving very fast. If you learn something 2 days back, it won't make sense today. You should know how to learn things very quickly and apply it. So your role will be research, firstly research, analysis, some coding, because you don't know how to code. If you can in the next couple of months, awesome. That is very good. You can start off by some courses or some books. Some great books are there. In addition to that, you can watch videos and stuff. But yeah, most things that you should know how to learn on your own. I think that is more than enough. So IPFS is one of my most favorite projects. It is so it's building a file transfer protocol across the world, and I'm happy that you asked this question. So Filecoin is the currency of IPFS. So people are being paid in Filecoin to run the mining of IPFS. Actually, if you look here, right, if you look at Remix, all the transactions are deployed on the IPFS, so it is stored forever, and you cannot tamper them. So IPFS is a very important technology that in the coming days will change how internet is for sure. Dogecoin. Dogecoin is not a currency. It is a meme. It is a meme. कोई फायदा नहीं है. There is no use of that currency. It is a meme coin, and Elon Musk is going crazy after that. So uh, there's no point of a Dogecoin. So yeah, if there are no other questions.
Thanks a million, Hamza bhai, for such an informative session. You are truly an inspiration for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you look into cryptocurrencies more seriously, because I think that I totally believe that this is the next internet, and if you don't work now, then you'll be lost behind. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Take care. Bye bye.